I remember accepting a job when I was, I don't know, I guess I was about 24 or 25. It was right after I got married, and we were living in a little town called Flint, Texas. And the next city over, Troop, Texas, a smaller town than Flint, I ran into a guy who asked me to be his general manager of a publishing company. Now that sounds like a gigantic title. General manager of a publishing company. So this company printed the Farm and Ranch Directory. Yep, Farm and Ranch Directory. And we sold advertising all over Northeast Texas. In fact, I remember going into an insurance sales office the only time in my life I can remember, or the first time in my life I can remember being truly intimidated by someone who said or did nothing threatening. He just was very direct about what he wanted to do and how he was going to do it, and you either take it or leave it. First time I was intimidated. But my message today is about that job title, General Manager of a Publishing Company at 25 years old. Now, if you were to look back at my resume and look at that, you'd think, well, that's pretty impressive. 25 years old, no college degree, straight out of the Air Force, and he's a general manager of a publishing company. That's not a bad start. But I have to be honest and say there were, 15 employees? I mean, we're not talking Thomas Nelson. My primary job was going in to identify a new market where we would be selling advertising and establishing all of the trade relationships, like where all of our team would eat, and we would offer them advertising for discounted meals for our team as they were working that territory. And what hotel would they stay in, and I would negotiate which hotel and how many rooms and how many people would be in town. And again, we would trade advertising for that stay. And that was the primary part of my job. And then, of course, training the salespeople on what we sold and how we sold it and what the ad rates were and that kind of stuff. And so it wasn't a bad job. But I won't forget when I sat down with the owner of the company, Mr. Mills. And he took me out in his Cadillac and we drove around and saw some people. And he said, you know, I always take people out in my Cadillac when I hire them for a sales job so they can see what life could be if they succeed as a salesperson. He said, you don't strike me as the same kind of person as a lot of the people that I've tried to hire for this position. I said, well, I don't understand what you mean by that. He said, well, you know, you come with a bit of a work ethic. I said, okay, what does that mean? He said, it means you have the ethic to work. And I thought, well, I thought everybody did. It didn't seem abnormal to me. But as he talked further, he explained to me how many people, especially people my age, because we were young and without kids at home and it was easier to get out and about and do the things necessary to do that kind of job. He said there are so many that come in and they want the title, but they don't want the work. They want everyone to see them as large and in charge with the giant paycheck and driving the Cadillac, but they don't want to actually do the work of going into the field and closing the deals and signing the contracts and picking up the ads. They don't want to do the work. They just want the title. He said, you don't strike me as that type, and that's why I'm offering you this job. And when he offered me the job, I thought I was just an ad sales rep. But when he told me we already had 15 sales reps in the field and someone needed to lead them, and that would be my job, he said, I'm going to have to give you a title that's commensurate with the kind of work you're going to have to do. So I'm going to put on your business card, general manager, so people will have an idea what you're up to. Didn't make any difference to me. I just wanted the job and the paycheck. So it was kind of an ironic twist that most of the people he tried to hire into that position wanted the position, not the work, not even necessarily the job. They wanted the position, they wanted the title, they wanted the rank, they wanted to be called leader. They wanted to hear someone say, you're in charge. It's your decision. You make it up, you do it, you make it happen. Fast forward 20 years now, and I don't think a lot has changed. In so much as young people today, many young people today, they want the title. They want the position. They want everyone to know that they are in charge. They are the ones that make the decision. They have the authority. They have the power. They've been assigned. Everyone is taking a risk based on the risk that they decide to take. Even if they're deciding to take a risk is going to cost the organization gigantic amounts of money, They're okay with that because their reputation is not on the line, it's the company's. But they want to take the risk to see if their ideas pan out. In some places, that's a perfect fit, but not in many. In family, leadership is a role that doesn't always look like leader. Sometimes the work of a leader, the things that have to actually be done with your hands, look nothing like the grand title. The patriarch, Moses, did a whole lot of hands in the dirt work. The patriarch, Moses, did a whole lot of fighting and struggling and, right? Today, I will set aside many of the work tasks that I do to run my company, to shoot videos, to train people, to do leadership courses, to write the books that I'm working on, and I will spend the day with my granddaughter. Is that a leadership role? Of course it is. Because in the particular scenario that we are in, if I don't take the day to set aside to spend with my granddaughter, her mommy doesn't get to go to school, which means she won't get to graduate, which means she won't finish and move on into life with the education that she expects to have and that I expect her to have. And when everything else is shuffled and the cards are thrown around like 52 card pickup, all of the things that you might have planned it to be in place are not necessarily in place the way you would hope they would be. So it's time for someone else to step in. So I take off my patriarch hat and I set that down and I go back into daddy mode and I will play daddy grandpa all day while the kids are in school. And while grandbaby is sleeping, I will be writing. And when she is up, I will be playing with her. And I will consider that not only an honorable work, but the role of a leader. Because a leader isn't the person who has the best label, the corner office, the biggest paycheck, the highest title. A leader is the one who does what needs to be done. A leader is the one who meets the task head on, charges in, and finishes the right thing to do. It's not about the glory. It's not about the title. It's not about the position or the paycheck. It's about getting done what needs to be done. Are you the kind of leader who simply gets done what needs to be done? Are you the one who says, forget the hat, forget the jacket, I'm going to take off my coat and tie, I'm going to get busy with the work that needs to be done? If you're that kind of leader, carry on. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're the kind of leader, on the other hand, regardless of your age, your position, your title, your longevity, who feels like because I'm the leader, I should be watching everyone else work and supervising them and overseeing them and not getting my hands dirty. Remember, it's only lonely at the top if you're doing it wrong. And if you're leading and there's no one following you, it may be because you're leading in such a way that no one wants to follow you. And at that point, you're really not leading, you're just taking a walk. Leadership is influence. Nothing more and nothing less. But influence comes through access, and access is earned through trust. Trust me, my granddaughter will know who I am. I will be an integral part of her life in every way that I possibly can, just like my grandsons, for as long as I possibly can. And I will earn the right to influence them and lead them. Because that's the work of a leader. It's not about the job title. It's not about the paycheck. It's not about the corner office. Are you the kind of leader who will simply get the work done? I hope so. I'm J Loren Norris, and you've been watching Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.